All right, you've reached that place where your doctor has said to you, I want you to try a vacuum therapy system, a vacuum erection device, a pump to help with your erectile dysfunction. So you're trying to decide, do I want to place the order? What does this look like? And once you do make that decision and you place the order, I want to talk through, once you receive the shipment, some things that might help you have a better experience or a positive experience and move you further down the road towards success. Now, the first recommendation I would make is to make sure when you get the device, whether it's a Pos-T-Vac or an Erection device, take a look at what you got. Make sure that it's everything that you ordered. You can cross-reference what you receive with what's listed on the website. It's all listed clearly what you can expect. If you get a Pos-T-Vac system, you're going to get a water-based lubricant. Always use water-based lubricant with these systems. You're going to receive a cylinder. You'll receive 4 of these tension rings. They look very similar, but they're different diameters on the inside here, different tension levels. This is with the Pos-T-Vac system. You'll also receive a bushing here that comes in 2 parts here. I've got them together, but you can see that those are different sizes, and those go in the end of the cylinder. It's a personal preference just to get a good size adjustment and make sure you're comfortable with that. You'll also obviously receive the pump. This is a battery pump. You'll get batteries that come with this, and you'll also receive a cone, and there's another video on the website and on this channel that will show you how to use the cone to load these tension rings onto the cylinder. And again, that's not covered here, but it's covered elsewhere on the site. So once you have that, you just verify, I've got everything, I'm good to go with the Pos-T-Vac. The Erection's the same way. You've got the cylinder that comes with it, the water-based lubricant. You've got the 4 tension rings that come with it, A, B, C, and D. You have the pump itself. This one, in this case, this is the manual pump. And then you have the loading mechanism, like the cone here with Pos-T-Vac. The loading mechanism helps you get these tension rings onto the end of the cylinder so that once you build the erection, you can just transfer this off and hold that blood in. But that's down the line. That's another video and already made available for you to watch. So those are the parts that come with it. But probably the most important thing you're going to receive is the instruction manual. And I cannot emphasize the importance of this too much, because if you're like me, I have a tendency to get everything, I lay it out, I look at the pictures, and I'm like, all right, how hard can this be? The instruction manual helps coach you through the daily use, how to be successful, how to troubleshoot, the precautions, everything's listed in the instruction manual. So I cannot emphasize enough, when you get the device, make sure you got all the parts and all the pieces, make sure that you've got the instruction manual, become very familiar with this. This is a very sensitive topic. You're putting a very important part of your body inside a cylinder. You want to make sure you know what you're doing. So that's number 1. All right, number 2, we want to make sure that the vacuum itself works. So the best way to do that with the Pos-T-Vac is to just load it on here. You don't need lubrication for this part. We're really trying to test and make sure that the vacuum works. The best thing to do, I think, is the palm of the hand. It's hair-free, and I can put this right against here and get a good tight seal. And then I just want to run the vacuum. This is more aggressively than you will use this normally, but I just want to make sure, just for the sake of time, I've got a good vacuum seal. So you can see here, and listen to that sound. That tells me that the vacuum is working on this one. Same thing with the Erection system. I want to make sure that I get it in here. It's nice and cinched up, nice tight here, so I got a good seal here. And then the same thing, I've even got the bushings in here. And I just want to make sure that I've got a good seal. Again, more aggressive than I will do it when I use later. But I'm here and I've got a good seal that's been created. And again, I want to see I got that good vacuum seal. What that tells me is, if down the line, the first time I use it, I'm thinking to myself, I am not getting a vacuum draw on this thing. Well, I already proved to myself, this works, this works. So what it says to me is that there may be something that I'm getting off when it becomes the positioning on the body, whether I've got a lot of hair down there that the air is being drawn through, or I just have it positioned at an angle. So again, look at some of the videos that we have on the site that will teach you how to position the device correctly so you've got a good vacuum draw while you're using it. So make sure it works. And then the third step, I would encourage you, as I've said a few times in this video, is just go onto the website, go onto the YouTube channel here and watch some of the other videos specific to what you've bought. If it's a Pos-T-Vac, we've made Pos-T-Vac videos. If it's an Erection, we've made Erection videos. We want to make sure that you're taking your time, you're working through this process step by step. It's a marathon, not a sprint. And part of the marathon is just preparing before you even start the run. Make sure you know what you're doing. And then number 4, determine where and when you're going to use the device. And we encourage, if you're in that rehabilitation period or if you're not able to build an erection, that you use the device every day. And there are great instructions in the instruction manual that come with your kit how to set up those practice sessions. So just make sure you pay attention to that. And if you are going to use it every day, then I would encourage you to find a place and a time that works for you every day. I find for me, if I have a habit or I'm trying to establish a habit, the longer I put it off during the day without a designated time and space, the more likely I am to not actually do that activity. So see it as a habit. First thing in the morning, later in the day, and decide that that's what you're going to do. And then the next thing is, where will you do it? Will it be in the bathroom before you take a shower? Will it be in the bedroom? Will it be part of your intimate life? If you're with a partner, is that part of the activity, the play that you're engaged in? Really talk about that. Encourage you to be open and honest about it, and don't feel like it's something that you've got to do in secret. If you want privacy to do, that's great, but just make sure that you're communicating about it and you're open, at least with yourself. This is a beautiful thing that you're doing. You're really trying to restore function, and you've got to see this as a training opportunity and a development opportunity. And I assure you that your partner's probably wanting you to be successful with this. And then the final suggestion is, find a place where you can store this where it's not snuck out of the way so you can't see it. If you're like me, if you don't see it, odds are a little bit better that you're not going to use it. So you don't want dust to gather on this thing. And you and I both know that if we have something tucked away in a place and we forget about it, next thing you know, it's 5 days later, 7 days later, and then we find it difficult to re-engage with it. So find a good place. It doesn't have to be out on the dining room table, but it can be someplace in the house, in a place where you can have quick access to it, in the bathroom, in the closet, on the nightstand, and no dust. Listen, if you have questions, you can write us at education@timmedical.com. Happy to help. And if you need help with those coaching videos, go to the timmedical.com website, and we've got them posted, Pos-T-Vac or Recade videos on how to get started, how to use those, how to troubleshoot, and how to be successful.